for this computer. Share screen. Okay. So I was just keeping track of things I've learned. So I've learned how to rerun tasks in Datalinks to make the system get to 100%. That is the data health charts. So right now we have 66 companies with 595 importers, and 100% of them ran within the last 24 hours.
Hmm.
What that looks like, for example, if there were any bugs here, they would show up here. So Stinger Sports is the one, this is like, let's go just look at Stinger Sports. So to go to Stinger Sports, you come over to companies
Hmm.
and you type Stinger Sports. That switches the company to Stinger Sports. Now, these buttons represent Stinger Sports. So Stinger Sports has just QuickBooks connected, and these are
Okay.
the tasks associated with it. These
Hmm.
tasks are added with a template. I'm going to show you that template. And then, oh, I noticed, look at that. Stinger Sports doesn't have an IFM link. Interesting. So I'm going to come over here to company settings. Oh, there is an IFM link. Annotate. Yeah, oh, there it is. Okay, cool. It does have an IFM link. You see that?
Hmm.
Okay. Annotate. I don't want it to annotate. I see it was just hidden by this annotate button, which sort of is weird. Okay, there we go. Oh, well, that's gonna stink. Um,
Let's try and make the window smaller, maybe.
uh, I probably, yeah, no, that's funny. There it is. Okay. Okay, so there's the IFM. Okay, so now this IFM, it has no BigQuery connection. So it has GL source and it has, so this means it has bookkeeping QA. Okay. So
Hmm.
I don't know if we do bookkeeping here or not. That's sort of a different thing, but I just wanted to show you that. So that's Stinger Sports, and then these are the tasks. And then here,
Can I
let
just
me,
ask a question
yeah,
here? Um, I'm concerned with like these sources refreshing and
it's going to break everything. And then you have to reconnect it. That's what I'm going to show you.
okay.
So maybe we shouldn't pick one that's so intense, but it's over Thanksgiving and it's super easy to do. So let me just show you what I did today.
Okay.
Um, clear all drawings, delete. All right. So today what I did is I went into companies. I was looking at I was looking in this sandbox. This is weekly accounting. To find weekly accounting, the sandbox, you would come in here and switch it to weekly accounting,
Hmm.
and then you'd pull open the IFM, and then this is where you can see the cross-company bookkeeping QA right now. So I just didn't like that Brightsen Inc. was 0%. So I was like, all right, why is that? Right? So then I
Hmm.
went over into the companies and I went to Bright Zen Inc., which was this one. And I went in there and then I went into company settings. This is for Bright Zen Inc. And there was no IFM key and there was no auth ID. And then I noticed that this one was created really a long time ago. So I tried some stuff and it didn't work. So then what
Sure.
I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the company and I'm going to move this one into archived. And then that takes it out of the system so it won't show up anymore.
Clean up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I come back over here. There we go. So now I'm going to do Bright Zen. Yeah. So Bright Zen Inc. one is gone. And so I'm going to just rename this back to Bright Zen Inc. and save it and change it to active. Okay. So now Bright Zen Inc. Then these are the tasks. So then let me just show you how to add the tasks.
Okay.
See these tasks?
Hmm.
I'm going to delete them all just to show you I can delete all the tasks.
Okay.
They're gone. And now I'm going to add them all again. And these are the templates.
Hmm.
Add all for an application to, oh, it seems to allow me just to click add all. Select application, QuickBooks, add all tasks. Okay. So now I go back to tasks and there they all again are coming in. Okay. Notice how these are indented. So that means this one has to run before these. This is the
Okay.
one that fails most often. And a lot
Gen-
of all you have to do usually is rerun it. Okay. So
okay.
now I'm going to trigger them all, even though I've already, recently they already triggered. Here's Bright Zen Inc. And so this model is still connected to the old IS source. This is the old IS source. So
Well,
now
the old
the only
importers, you mean?
what?
The old weekly accounting importers?
These are the old weekly accounting importers. So now I'm going to go to the dashboard for the old weekly accounting importers. I'm just going to delete these. And then I also have to remind um, Joseph to turn off the BigQuery ones for this one too. Because once you do this, you don't need those anymore.
Okay.
Okay. So now this is no longer connected to the old platform. Okay. And so now what I would have to do, and now I'm going to go and like data named functions. Yeah, there's no named functions here. So I'm going to go get the named functions from the sandbox. Let me just make sure they're in here. Named functions. Yeah, there they all are. Cool. You know how to do this, right? You've done this before. Import functions.
Yes. Yeah, you just import them from another iPhone. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then I come in here and then I'm just going to import them from another IFM. Here they all are. I just say import all. Okay. So now the question is like, are there names on this one? So let's go look at the named ranges. Data named ranges. Yeah, IFM, IBS source. That's the index for BS source. Anyway, then it's a tedious process of it took me about 45 minutes just to change it from the old sources to the new sources.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just honestly, like that's the whole process, like right now. So I'm just going to come up here to these and I'm just going to do one. So remember, so what we have to do right now, this uses this old thing. So I'm going to change, I'm just going to come over here and do September and October. I'm just going to go equals IS source and it's going to fail. So I go data, then you have to learn how to fix it, right? So IS source edit. I'm just going to pull the if error. I'm going to get rid of the if error here and see what the error tells me that it is. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no name index source. Okay, so what that means is right down here, I'm going to change this to index source and index source. So remember, so that's the problem. That's like the first problem. Source, IS source, index, IS source. So now I'm going to go to the named functions, data, named functions, or sorry, named ranges, data, named ranges, and I'm source IS source. So I think there's a TIS source. See this TIS source? That goes to the old IS source. Got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to rename this one, and it's going to break everything. I'm going to rename this one to, well, I can leave that one. I'm going to make a new one right here, source IS source. So let's just go check here and see what source IS source is. Source IS source is all of it. Perfect. You understand?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to the old IS source, the new IS source. I'm just going to make a new named range, add a named range, source underscore IS source. Is that right? Yeah, source underscore IS source coming back over here, source IS source. Okay, cool. Now, if I come back over to the IFM, it's going to give me a different error. Index source. So I'm going to come over here and see what index source is. Index IS source takes me down here. Perfect.
Yeah, we just need the named range for it, right?
Yeah, so I'm just going to add the named range for this one. That way it won't break everything else. And this one is index source. So I'm going to put the name here. Then I'm going to highlight that and add a range. There you go. Now that works. And I can take it back up to here. Where am I now? Okay, so now you index IS source. Did I get that? Oh, it's capitalized differently. See that?
Hmm.
Uh, no, that might not be it. Sometimes you just have to do it again. IS source. There you go. Good. Now, now why
We
is it
just need
pulling up a zero?
the
And it's,
lookup is not the ID, right? It has to
yeah,
pull the
that's
ID.
exactly right. That's exactly right. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go grab these numbers.
Mhm. Good thing about them is that they're unique.
Yep, that's the
Don't
point.
know,
So I'm going
you
to
know.
put them the way I did this last time is I just went to ISSource and I pulled these forward. You could make a lookup across these columns, to do it. And if you're going to do a bunch in a row, that might be the easiest way to do it. But a lot of times I just went
Yeah.
over here and did this. I was like, all
Hmm.
right, let's go look at this.
Just to test it out.
I'm just going to put it here for now. Okay, so consulting revenue is 92. And then accounting services is 93. And investor relations income, huh, that's an old one. It doesn't seem to exist. Let's just add it in. 95 is 40/30. And then 96 is 40/40. I don't have a 40/40 either. Board fee, that's a weird one. 96. Okay, so then I can delete these. It's just this tedious process. Eventually we'll get Raleigh to do it, but it's worth you learning. How come
Yeah.
40/24 isn't in there? Let's go see why that one's not in there. Oh, look at all these. Okay, I messed all this up.
I didn't see. Okay.
Okay.
I get the point. I get the point.
What? You get the point?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So that's so now so somebody would have to go in and fix this. And I'm just going to assign it to Raleigh. But I don't know if he can actually do it. Um,
I'll work on it myself just to, get used to it.
okay, you want to do this one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then now let's just go say we wanted to, like, let's go flip over to Fling. Oop, companies.
Change company. Okay.
So now you get what you have to do in there. So now Fling does it have any integrations? Okay, it has QuickBooks integration. Does it have any tasks? Okay, these are the old tasks. This isn't all the tasks. Let's go look at which IFM it's pointing to. Is this the live IFM?
Yes. And there's this weird issue with their general ledger. We tried everything to fix it, but it's just not giving us good data. Like we're using Split to just
Like
get
this
like put
thing?
together an account.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
like
Well,
they just have a weird.
let's push it all in here though. What's the map dot thing? Okay, do you want to try this one?
Yeah, I tried to have Joseph push the general ledger from map.dot just to fix the general ledger,
Yeah,
but it's still giving
that
us a
won't
lot of
work. That
issues.
won't work this way. Let's try it the other way. I'm going to delete all these and then I'm going to make sure let's look at the company settings. So who does the bookkeeping on this one?
And Zell?
And you're the client manager
Yeah.
and it's active.
I
Okay.
need to run through my clients and go through this list, make sure
Yeah,
they're
just
active
do
and
this one first and text me when you have trouble and I'll help you fix stuff. But now how do I add? So how do I add? I view the
is that
task
it?
templates and then I just
Okay.
go add all for an application and you pick QuickBooks and then you add all the tasks.
Okay.
And then now they should all show up here. And then now I'm going to run them all. I'm going to show you what happens when I watch them run. So I'm going to click refresh all tasks. This is going to push all these things in and including the named ranges,
Okay.
or I don't know, some of them. But here we go. Refresh all the tasks. So what you're going to see here happen is that the times will fill in
Hmm.
if it works. And it usually does. So this is when it was triggered, and then this is when it will run. Okay. Now over here, this is the system where it is running. These tasks are now running inside here. and it's going to keep
Okay.
kicking off more of the tasks based on the priority there.
And in Fling, it should create sheets.
It's going to create new sheets in this model. The GL has changed a lot, right? And the GL is the one that keeps breaking and we keep having to fix it. But right now it's been pretty stable, as evidenced by the fact that again in the sandbox, all this is good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the things I just taught? How to rerun tasks and make them get to two. I learned how to uh, delete old tasks. And three, how to add QBO tasks all at once from the template. Four, how to run all the tasks. Five, how to archive an old company. Six, how to connect a company in Mapdot to an existing IFM. And then these are all like Datalinks tasks. Okay, and then once all that's in, then you have to go back into IFM reconnect. And that will be like seven. You have to disconnect the old Datalinks 1.0. These are Datalinks 2.0. Reconnect, disconnect Datalinks 2.0, and then you have to make named ranges, starting with IS source and BS source, and you have to add in named functions, and then you then get IFM working again, and then delete the BigQuery tabs and delete the BigQuery tabs and the IS source from etc. from Datalinks, right? That you just
Hmm.
learned all that. All that makes sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so let's see what's happening. So now it's running. Okay, it's running the GL and it seems to be doing fine.
Yeah. The problem is not about like BigQuery giving us those errors and we have Joseph fix them if it's the date, whatever, inside the data set. It's more like the data within the general ledger that we're pulling has issues that you can't like it's not the same format as other QuickBooks. Like it only happened for Flink for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, we'll see. So these are the new tabs. Info
Like when you
source.
try it, yeah. Okay.
Let's see what it does when it comes through here. So here's BS source and IS source. So you can start connecting those data named functions. Good. They're all
Yeah,
here.
yeah, I'll work on that. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, so it's easy to get rid of IS source. And then let's just make sure the GL runs. It seems to be running.
Hmm.
I wrote I wrote up this memo about the data system. Um, so we built this data system for the first time at Assemble Brands, and it cost us $2 million. Oh, you can't see this, but then we started weekly accounting and we built that Datalinks 1.0 for 10K. And that was just focused on QuickBooks to replace Coupler. Get data from QuickBooks, manipulate it, clean and tag it in BigQuery, and then push it back into Sheets. So version
Yeah,
one was designed to get us to 100 companies. This year, we've been working on generalizing that system, and we call that Datalinks 2.0. When I wrote this, there were only 58 companies on it, but now there's even more.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, look, so yeah, 66 companies. So we've added 8 companies. All right. So this QuickBooks is still running there. So now let me just describe all this to you. Um, Datalinks is architected this way. There's a table of companies. each company has a table of tasks. Each task is based on a template, and there's a template for every app. And we just have to make those templates once. And this works because every company in your portfolio, Jad, runs on a collection of apps. And
Right.
we have a very strong opinion that there's a right way and a wrong way to look at the data from every application, right?
Hmm.
And we base that on the quality of the forecasting that we're able to do from it. So, in effect, we've created a P&L and a balance sheet for all the transactional data from every business application. So we only have to do this once for every application, and each time it's the same process. Every app, QuickBooks, HubSpot, Stripe, Shopify, has a transactional table. We grab that transactional table, we add metadata, we categorize it. That's bookkeeping. Then we add date tagging, end of week, end of month to make the pivot tables easier. And that's what accountants do with bank data. Bank data is a transactional table. We add categories and metadata, and then we pivot table it to a P&L and we pivot table it to a different kind of like a balance sheet. So,
Hmm.
and so now just think about this generally here, and I'll put this up on the screen. I'm going to have everybody, yeah. So, so that tells you, think about your bank account. You can picture what it looks like. It's a table of transactions. On this date, you got a deposit for this much from this depositor. On this date, you had a withdrawal of this much withdrawal from this vendor, for example. Accountants use QuickBooks to tag each of those transactions. Then we pivot table the accounts to see an income statement, and we pivot table other accounts a different way to see a balance sheet. We do this exact same process with less manual intervention for the transaction logs from every other app, be it Shopify, Stripe, CRM, or HubSpot. So here's the system architecture. Bubble is this user interface. And this is probably still running. We're just checking it. That's great. It hasn't failed, so that's great too. Oh, you didn't see that. It's part of the screen. So this is the list of companies on Datalinks, and this is the tasks for every company. And then this is what's going into Make, I think, or Mage. So Mage runs these scripts in a certain sequence, and each task is based on an app and a template. Mage calls Pathfix. Pathfix is where we get all the APIs. And
Hmm.
so then I guess that's kind of the details of how the system works. And then this is just strategy now. So where do we use AI? After getting all the various data from QuickBooks, then it runs scripts that process the data that landed in Mongo. So we don't use BigQuery anymore because of all the problems you experience with BigQuery. So we don't, it makes the Google Sheets heavier when they're connected to BigQuery. Now we just push the data into a sheet. So it's just sitting there in a sheet. If it's too much data, then we have to pivot table it before we push it into sheets. And that's an important point because here I'm going to share a different window.
Yeah, I had the experience with, especially with general ledgers when they're all um, pulled into an IFM. Sometimes it slows
It
down.
it's too big. So let me just show you. So for Fling, there should be, yeah, there's not a rev source yet, but in the sandbox, there is a rev source. Well, I did it in Brightsen Inc. There's a rev source in Brightsen Inc. So see this rev source? This is
Yeah.
every company that pays us and every time they paid us. Make sense? So this is just a pivot table of the GL that we pre-pivoted. All right.
Oh,
So
okay.
so that gets rid of BigQuery and just pushes data into Sheets, which makes it sort of like then I don't have to wait and worry about Google not
Wait,
connecting.
can we create the same thing for like an account vendor pivot, for example? Just
It
so
that's called expense source.
oh,
That's
okay.
that's right here. You see it?
Oh, okay.
Same thing.
Okay.
It's already done. And so once oh okay, well that's a good one. Can we try another one that doesn't have GL issues maybe? What's another like early
Oh, garden cup? Or we can just,
is this their live IFM? That's cool.
yeah.
Cool. So let's do it. I think this one probably. Oh, it is. This is a live template. So
Okay,
it
so it's
does.
working.
Garden
Let's not
cup.
miss.
Garden cup's already in. So this is the old IS source.
Yeah.
Here's the new IS source. So you can go reconnect that one. And by the way, here's expense source. Oh, huh. Let's go see why expense source didn't get pushed in. Expense source, 1126. Doesn't look like the GL ran.
Mhm.
Um, so let's just
Can we
run.
have access to the dashboard where it has everything so that I can basically just keep an eye on things
Isn't
when they break?
isn't which dashboard?
Like the dashboard that says last updated this date.
This is in this. You have access to this, don't you?
Oh, yes. Just use that
Yeah,
instead.
this is where it is. So I'm just gonna rerun all of these again. Oh, because these haven't run in a few days. Okay, cool, interesting. Company settings, because the status isn't active. Who's the bookkeeper on this? Is it Anzel?
Yeah.
Hi. And then Jad. Okay, cool. Okay, well, let's see. Let's, interesting. Did I not trigger these? I'm going to trigger them all. Okay. Well, play with it. I've learned enough to be dangerous, and there you go. So now those are triggered. These will run quickly. This will get
Mhm.
updated in here, and then we'll go from there. Now, the other thing you may want to just look the sandbox. This is just sandbox.weekly accounting. Like I said, you just go to companies weekly accounting. And so you can watch these. This thing I can't give you access to. I don't know how to. Um, but hey, that'll be like
Okay.
you can watch it here. So
Yeah, I'll play with Mapdot and escalate any issues that I see. I can just put like a little list of anything that I spot.
well, just right now, let's just do you and me so we don't disrupt the flow of the system. That way I'll be your escalation path and I'll know what I can fix and I'll know what we need to escalate to Jeff. And
To
honestly,
you?
like,
Okay.
yeah, to
Yeah, I can do
just
that.
me this weekend, especially everybody else is doing Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
I'm bringing you into the whole system. And when we're working together, this is gonna be great. All
Yeah.
right, wait,
Okay.
so Fling failed for some reason. Let me just go see why in these logs. Hmm. Push to sheets exception. I think Jeff has to look at this. Okay, there's definitely something fucked up about their chart of accounts that
You want to
isn't
choose the
isn't
log level
isn't it?
error crit-
Oh, I
no,
see. Yeah, he hasn't. That's not actually in there.
exception?
Yeah. Oh, there. Push to sheets. Does that mean red? Oh,
Yeah.
exception. Failed to execute. Huh. Yeah, this is at the edge of my knowledge. We have to learn more about that.
Okay.
But now Garden Cup, see these have all updated and now it's trying the GL. And
Okay.
then and so then these are all in here. So expense source is dependent on GL source, so that won't work. And but these all work. And now you can reconnect them to this. And then if GL source works, then you can get rid of the GL. Make sense?
Yes. Yes.
All right. And then if you go to, again, let me just show you how to get to the sandbox. If you want to look at your QuickBooks across all your companies, you go company, weekly accounting, you open up the IFM, which takes you to the sandbox one, and here's your bookkeeping QA summary. And so like pick a company that you do bookkeeping on, it's in your pod. Ooh, did I lose you?
Nope. Okay.
Pick a company that's in your pot again. Yeah, Garden Cup isn't
Uh,
isn't in here yet because it wasn't active.
let's do Centex.
Pools.
Centex. Centex Auto.
Yeah, it's not in here. So why isn't it in
Um,
here? So then I'm gonna go. So we go to companies, Centex. Oh, it's not in here yet. Okay, do you want to learn how to add Centex?
yes,
Great.
you have time.
Do you have access to the QuickBooks?
Yes, I do.
All right. I'm not sure that I do, but let's go. I'll try it and I'll show you how to do it. So this is in companies, create a company. Company name is Centex Auto,
Centex Auto title.
auto title,
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
Create. There it is. Now let's go. If I go to company settings here, I need to get the IFM key.
Okay, I can send you the link.
Let me show you how to do this. Centex auto title. So in order to grab it after the D and before everything else, that's the code that you need to put here. Who's the
Hmm.
bookkeeper? Anzel, and the client manager is Jad,
Yes.
and the status is active. Save. Now we go back to the integrations. We're going to go and connect QuickBooks. So this is opening up. I'll share my whole window, even though it'll be big. Brightsend Inc. Search for a client. Oh, this one could be under Dean Win, right?
Oh no, it's not.
It's
It's
not.
with weekly counting.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Centex
weekly.
Auto Title. There it is. Next. Okay. So connect. Perfect. Then I go to tasks and I click on view all the task templates. I used to add them in like this, but I didn't realize that after you click that, it says add all for an application. And then it goes QuickBooks and then you go add all tasks. And then you go to the
Mhm.
tasks and they're all going to fill in.
Time saver.
And then you go refresh all tasks and then those will get triggered. So let's go while we'll wait for that to show up. Here, now I'm going to share my one screen again. So it's easier for you to see. So now all those are triggered. And then these will
Mhm.
start running. You know, oh, look. Okay, it looks like the old one ran. So that means Garden Cup worked. So here's Garden Cup.
Mhm.
And oh, no GL source. Huh. Let's go back over to companies, Garden Cup. And this is what I was doing. I was like, oh, there you go, tasks. Oh, it looked like it ran. Okay, cool. So where's the GL source?
Maybe to the extreme right, you'd find it. Like the last sheet.
Nope. GL. Oh,
Oh, there's another
there it is.
sheet called
There it is.
GL. Yeah. Yep.
Perfect. This works perfectly. All right, so you're good on this one.
There,
And
it doesn't, uh, just right there, it doesn't show last time it was updated.
um no, it doesn't. But it
Um,
does here.
okay. Okay.
That's where it shows it. Yeah, so now see this is doing
Oh, this is
Centex.
smooth because I tried working with MapTop just a few weeks ago, but it
It's
wasn't like
it's changed.
consistent.
It's
Yeah.
so much it's really good now. So let's go back to
Okay.
Centex and let's look at their tasks. And there they are.
It
So
looks more consistent now.
yeah,
Like you click refresh and it actually sends sheets and data.
exactly. All right. Well, you got it. Just text me if you're running into any issues. So you're going to connect Brightsen Inc. and Centex and Garden Cup to the new system.
Yeah, I'll just start like working slowly to just replace all clients with
Yeah. And then we
the
got
laptop.
you. we got you on the new pay for the next pay period. Um,
Okay.
and that's so you'll be at 7,500. And then yeah, if you're, and then you can stay here for a while and then while we look for a place and, see
Yeah.
if we can connect you to some interesting people here
Yeah.
and
That
it'll
sounds
be
good,
awesome.
John.
All right.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm excited.
All right. Have a happy
Thank
Thanksgiving.
you. You too, John. Have a nice
See you later.